All right, so the software that you're going to want to make sure you have on your computer is the Anaconda distribution package. And you can see here in Google, I just typed in Anaconda Python. You can write anaconda.com. You'll go ahead and click on that link if you're on Google. And you're going to be downloading, there's different versions of this. We're going to be downloading the free version, which is right here on my right. But if you go down to products and you're trying to figure out which one to choose from, it's going to be this first one right here. So Anaconda distribution, open source repository and toolkit. That's what this download button is. So I just attempt to click on that. I'm on that same page. So I'm going to go ahead and download it. It should be able to pick up what your operating system is when you go to this website. So you can see here that I'm going to be downloading it for Windows. This is Python 3.9, 64-bit. So it's a pretty big size. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit download, let it download, and then I'm just going to open up the executable, the installation file, and just keep on pressing next. Let me just go ahead and pause. And then once it's downloaded, I'll go through those steps. Okay, it's done downloading. Let me go ahead and click on the installation file now. And I'm just gonna hit next, agree on the license. And I'm gonna always select what's defaulted for me. So the radio button says just me recommended. I'm just gonna go ahead and press OK. And here's gonna be the destination where the program is going to be installed. Just make sure that you're aware of that. Hit next. And then here are some other options. Again, the default, leave it alone and just hit install. All right, and it went ahead and finished. So this part right here took about 4 or 5 minutes or so, but now it's complete. So I'll go ahead and hit next. Let's see here, just press next. Let's see here. Yeah, it's fine. I am not going to need JetBrains, so I can just go ahead and hit cancel there. It looks like it may ask me if I might have to do it anyway. So let me just go ahead and say no, press next, and then press finish. Okay, there we go. It changes every semester in these steps. So now I have it on my system. And if I want to pull it up, I can go to the start program and search for Anaconda. And it should be available to me. Here's a folder, Anaconda, right here. So I can click on that. Here's Anaconda Navigator. So if I click here, it's going to go ahead and open up the entire Anaconda package that contains several additional software packages within it. If I wanted a particular application to use, then I can go ahead and select that individually. For example, if it was Jupyter Notebook, which is going to be the most common application that you're going to be using, is called an IDE. So it's an integrated development environment. So this is pretty much where you put your code and run it and test it out. But you can also choose from a variety of applications that the Anaconda package has available. So another one is Spider. It can do the same thing Jupyter does, but the interface is slightly different. And I'll be talking about the differences later, but let me go ahead and click on Anaconda Navigator so we can see how this looks like. And since this is a package, a distribution package, it means it contains additional types of softwares and libraries and APIs and things like that. But I just want to open this up. I normally don't open this one up. I now just go directly to Jupyter Notebook or Spider and start working from there. But you can see here, it's taking a little bit to boot up, but it finally did. And here is the interface for Anaconda distribution package. So the additional, let's see here. So some things in terms of new versions are available. I'm not going to worry about this stuff since I already just went directly to the website and downloaded what Anaconda has available currently. So now here are the other types of applications within the Anaconda package that's available. But like I mentioned before, the one that we're going to be getting most familiar with is going to be Jupyter Notebook. So here is Jupyter Notebook, not to be confused with Jupyter Lab. This is a different IDE that we'll not utilize in this course. This is the one that we're going to be utilizing in this course. And at times we could use Spider just because it has a different unique interface that it doesn't hurt to get familiar with. And we'll again talk about some of these and the differences later on. But now if I wanted, say for example, to launch Jupyter, I can just go ahead and select launch right here. And it's going to be this Jupyter Notebook IDE is going to be tied into your default browser. So my default browser happens to be Google Chrome. And so it opens up a Google Chrome tab. And then here's the user interface where it's showing me the file directories on my system. And if I want to open up a brand new Jupyter Notebook, then all I need to do is go right here to the right, go to the dropdown, select Python 3, and it's going to open a Jupyter Notebook right here. Now, at times when you are interacting with Jupyter Notebook, you might have an additional screen in the background that's running. It could have possibly changed due to an update, and it looks like a command prompt. So you wouldn't want to exit that if your system shows that type of screen somewhere in the background. Leave that alone. But in my case, I don't really see that happening now with this new version that I have. So here is what Jupyter Notebook looks like, and it contains a user, I would say a friendly interface. You have the control tabs up top, and then you have some shortcut buttons and things like that. So I will be providing another video demonstrating Jupyter Notebook, but you'll also want to just look over some of the basics of navigation and things like that. Some of the keyboard shortcuts to the help button right here. And you can go to keyboard shortcuts to kind of get an idea of the different things you can do. Now, going back to opening up these applications, I launched Jupyter Notebook through Anaconda Navigator, but I could just look for Jupyter Notebook in the Anaconda folder. And here's Jupyter Notebook right here. So if I want to access Jupyter Notebook without having to open up Anaconda Navigator, I can do that. Or if I want Spider, I can do that directly from my start menu. So let me just go ahead and click on Jupyter Notebook. Here's this black screen that I'm talking about. Now, it's going to also open up a new tab right here on my browser. And so now I have two Jupyter Notebooks open. So I can go ahead and create a new notebook file by going to this new button, hit Python 3. And now I have a Jupyter Notebook right here and a Jupyter Notebook right here, right? So right now I have it as Untitled 23 for that first notebook that I opened. Here's Untitled 24. I can always change the titles by just clicking that and then overriding whatever I want it to name. So you might have a different number here. That's no issue there, okay? So this is where I want to stop here, just giving you an idea of how to download it, how to open it, and hopefully you should be able to do the same thing on your system. All right.